It's the twists and the turns, and in this case, the upstate weather that kept things interesting at Watkins Glen International over the weekend. The road course is no stranger to drama, and the Sahlen 6 hours at the Glen didn't disappoint. Here's a look back at the weekend that was.
Well, the strategy was really up in the air depending on what the weather was going to do. That was the biggest question mark, and that was the biggest player.
It was a wet and wild weekend at Watkins Glen International, but fans showed up regardless. The Sahlen 6 hours at the Glen started under dry conditions, but things would definitely change.
It went from wet to kind of medium wet to dry, and then to wet on dries, and then to really wet.
You just couldn't see out there if you were behind cars, and we had a wiper failure, which made things 10 times worse. So at one point I was hoping they would just red flag the race.
And they would. The red flag went down, but the delay was lifted after around 14 minutes, and it was back to racing as usual. The competition in this one, especially in the prototype class, was extremely stiff. But with under 10 minutes left, Richard Westbrook of Visit Florida Racing took over the lead after Chip Ganassi Racing pitted for a fuel stop, and moments later a crash on the track would send out the race-ending caution. So even in these tough conditions, Sunday marked back-to-back wins for drivers Richard Westbrook and Michael Valente at Watkins Glen International.
Started off really poor, to be honest with you. It's I didn't have much hope after the first day, but then we've found some problems with the car, and we got quicker and quicker throughout the weekend. And after the first stint, I thought, hey, we've got a shot at this. Probably need some conditions to, some rain to fall at the right time, and it did. And the team did a fantastic job. Everyone at Visit Florida just, really pulled through, and just so happy. And I just love coming to Watkins Glen. Even more so now that we've won 2 races in a year. It's just an incredible place. It's always been my favourite track, and I don't think that's ever going to change now.
And even for driver Scott Pruitt, who ended up coming in second, for him, he says it's always a great race at WGI.
I love coming to Glen. I always love coming to Glen. The fans are, you see how many fans are out there in these kind of conditions. That tells you how hardcore these people are. And I'm proud to come up here and say it's one of my favorite racetracks, and say hi to, as many fans as I can, because they're, they're second to none.